Good morning. We're on the road and we're on our way to Frankfurt, Germany. That's where we're flying out of tomorrow, and we need to return our rental car today. So hopefully we get there before noon. There's a lot of construction, so that may or may not happen. So we'll see.
All right, so there's a few things that I wanted to talk about when renting an electric car in Europe. I think there's probably some things that you should be aware of. One of those things is there's quite a few charging networks here. I think Allegro is the one that we're at right now. That has probably been the most reliable charging network that I have used. It's supposedly part of a European Union network, so I would expect it to be in other countries as well. So as soon as you download the Smooth app, you can just scan the barcode on it, you put your credit card in, you're good to go. The other thing is there is a lot of electric cars available for rent in Europe. There's a lot of companies, the rental car companies are offering them. But one of the things that I would recommend is definitely check the range on them. If you plan on doing any sort of road trip, they have significantly less range than what a Tesla would have. All right, I think that's all I have for now. So I'll be honest, we're kind of struggling to find our hotel right now. It's, for some reason, a bit of a challenge, but we've got to find the skywalk. Once we find the skywalk, our hotel should be obvious.
Trying. I think it's like directly that way. This might be the most stocked mini fridge that we've ever seen.
Ready to go find the U-Bahn?
Is it like a train?
Yeah, it's the intercity train. So we just need to go down and across the street. Let's go. All right, so we'll explain more about this hotel when we get back because it's kind of unique for a few reasons. But I think we're gonna go head out and try to get to Frankfurt for maybe an hour or two. Especially since we're here, I definitely don't want to miss out on that.
Currently on the S9 train heading into Frankfurt. We're going to the old city to walk around, see some buildings, probably get something to eat while we're there. We're headed in. Might take us a little bit to get there.
Wollen nach Hanau Hauptbahnhof. Nächster Halt Niederrad.
All right, so the reason that Frankfurt is so different than most European cities is basically because of World War II. During this time, the Allies basically bombed the heck out of Frankfurt because it was the business and economic center of power for Germany. Most of the old town was destroyed. Now, the Allies did have a directive not to bomb churches, but because this church was so close to the old town, it basically got destroyed. It had actually had two fires at one point in time, one before World War II and then one like during World War II. But it was rebuilt in the 1950s, which is why it's so kind of plain on the inside. Now, this church was originally built in I think it was like 6th or 7th centuries during the Roman times. So that's why there is a few like artifacts in there, but most of this church is redone since the 1950s. More tight stairs with Ben and Kayla. All right, so welcome to the top of this cathedral. It's actually one of the taller structures in the city, minus the skyscrapers behind us. It's actually one of the best views, short of going to one of those skyscrapers and standing on the 50th floor. All right, all that walking upstairs made me very hungry. So I'm gonna head off and...
It's 3 o'clock.
Yeah, it's 3 o'clock. So we're gonna try to get some lunch here and head back.
Either way, I'm gonna look like an idiot eating this.
That's good. Just try one. Just try a piece of one. How about that? What?
You know those like kielbasa pre-cooked things I get from the grocery store?
Yeah.
That's what this
Here,
is.
let me try one. That's very good. I really like that.
Yeah?
Yeah.
All right, so we just finished our lunch/dinner, whatever you want to call it, and it was good. I had the sausage and roll, like a roll, and made it a sandwich. It was good. Ben had a ham and cheese on a croissant, so pretty standard for Ben. Now we're gonna head over to Bahnhof,
It's
Hofbahnhof.
Frankfurt, the main
the Frankfurt
train
train station.
Yeah.
Ben wants to go see that, and then after that we'll probably go back to the airport.
Unbelievable.
Oh, isn't that unbelievable to me?
Yeah, I can't believe you took the biggest stairs.
Do you know how many stairs we've done today?
We need to do what?
I can tell you.
Alright, so we may have taken the wrong train, but I think we sorted it out. We just went one stop down and we immediately were like, this is the wrong direction. So we're gonna take the other trains once they come back. Okay, so today we are at the Hilton Hotel at the Frankfurt Airport. It's actually a pretty unique hotel for a few reasons. One being that the trains run right beneath the hotel. It's actually suspended above the train tracks that are the regional trains. So what makes this hotel so unique? Well, the fact that they did a lot of work to soundproof this hotel. I'll show you some of the features here really quickly, but it's suspended, right? Which means it's above the train tracks, and they actually put dampers on those so that when the trains come through, they don't shake the building. Now, the other thing is actually over here at the windows. These windows are triple reinforced, which means that there's 3 panes of glass, and that's also how they separate them from the sound outside. So as you can see, there is an inner layer here. There's actually a second layer, and then there is a window that is outside. That is actually why you cannot hear the highway at all right now. So if I stop talking, the only thing that you'll hear is probably the air conditioning. It's dead silent. You can't feel anything, you can't hear anything. This hotel is in the middle of an airport where airplanes and cars drive by and trains come right underneath, and you can't hear a thing. It's a pretty impressive feat of engineering. This is what makes this hotel unique, and it's part of the reason that we wanted to stay here. All right. The last and final thing that I wanted to talk about was the Frankfurt Hauptbahnhof, or the Frankfurt train station. Now, this is part of the reason that Germany became so popular for trains, is actually because they had some large train stations that made it very easy to transfer and transit the country. This is something that is very nice about Germany, but it's also nice about the rest of Europe. Unfortunately, we kind of stopped in the middle of rush hour around 4 or 5 o'clock, which meant that, the station was absolute chaos, and unfortunately that made it very hard to film. It also made it kind of hard for me to kind of want to stop and talk about it because of how loud it was. So all right, I think that's going to be it for us. Same thing as always, go ahead and give us a thumbs up. We really appreciate it. Feel free to comment down below stuff that you're interested in. If you have any questions about any things that we put in this video, we'll do our best to answer them. If you're new to this channel, we try to release videos at least once a week. Sometimes we miss that, sometimes we hit that, but we try to pretty much regularly release like travel related videos or travel adjacent content. We also like to talk about tech and food. All right, I think that's it for now. I don't have any more. Bye.